Hey, hello. Yeah, there we go. Hey, everybody. Um, just got into a game, and whoa, faction selection is happening fast. I am fourth seat, so get to pick here, but we're going speedy. We got dwellings into big buildings, big buildings, trading post, so lots of repeated events on the track. We're missing trading post scoring, so basically building trading post late looks good. We're missing dwelling scoring, a little awkward. All good factions thus far, good enough at least. Color wheel wise, this looks, like a game where you could throw in engineers. I've been talking about wanting to do kind of tall engineer strats, and with both big building and ship scoring in the game, you kind of build some dwellings early, you build up to a stronghold, maybe even a sanctuary, and this round you build all your trading posts late. You don't therefore need to expand very far. I mean, with this color wheel, you could probably expand a lot, but let's go for the engineer's life. It's fun. The cult rewards aren't good for engineers, is the one downside, but again, I'm partly here for experimentation and fun. Um, but yeah, we're partly here for experimentation this game, and we'll see how things go. Okay-ish player. Okay-ish player. Okay-ish player. All right, sweet. So, I mean, we're the best player at the table, but the other players aren't bad. They're just, mediocre to good. And we've seen plenty of times where, these sorts of players have bad games. Sometimes they have great games. And so we'll see. As for the best faction here, I think it probably has to be mermaids. Engineers presumably start with the spade. Mermaids will start with temp ship in a dwelling round. Mermaids with temp ship in a dwelling round are very likely getting double dig. They can do like a full dwelling rush, which I actually don't know the last time I've done a full dwelling rush on this stream, so that's kind of fun. The issue with full dwelling rush mermaids is, as fun as it is, the rest of the track isn't great, because if you dwelling rush, you really kind of want to build trading posts earlier, so it's good, but I don't know how good. Everybody disagrees on the best faction here too, which is a little intriguing. We have mermaids, darklings, nomads, engineers, nomads. Maybe you get a mermaids over here, but mermaids should be over here. Maybe darkling starts here. If nomad starts here, beating the red's kind of important. Hey, everybody. One thing is engineers could start with temp shipping, I guess, and you would start like here, and you try to immediately set up your future bridge locations. I don't think that's actually great, but it is fun in terms of the... You don't know if they disagree on the best faction, they just may not know depending on elo. Well, okay, sure, whatever, I agree. Nobody knows. To be fair, I don't know. It's possible engineers are just best here. I'm not 100% sure who is best. Darklings can't be that bad. You open, temple into whatever. I guess I'll go mermaids. Mermaids are strong on this map, even with darklings, and the whole full dwelling rush sounds pretty fun. I'll go one more on mermaids here. The full dwelling rush is fun. Oh wow, Thanks so much for the subscription. You're the prime sub there, Relentless. That's awesome. Round 4 NG Stronghold for 27. I'm not sure it's 27, but yes, if I'm playing engineers here, which I kind of want to, I want to kind of build some dwellings early and go into Stronghold and buildings late. I actually want to explore a tall engineer strat, which looks reasonably okay here. You just skip you skip Earth 1 and you just focus on Water 1, Air 1, Earth 2, building big buildings, building bridges, building other stuff. I'm probably go 1 on Darklings now. Darklings aren't going to get that much early leech if mermaids do like a full dwelling rush. Darklings don't necessarily get a center sanctuary either. Do I just take engineers and just go for the full fun? Maybe I should. I really kind of want to. I want to explore more tall engineer strats. I've been saying it forever. The only problem with tall engineer strats here is I don't know where the bridges come in. I could also try the temp ship engineers into dwelling rush engineers. I don't think it's very good, but this is certainly the game to like attempt it if I ever was going to. Everybody was at 30 starting VP. Wow, that's cool. I really don't know what to do here. I'll go 1 on Darklings. Darklings is good stuff. Oh, it's your first game in arena mode. Nice. All right, folks. I've bid people down just a little. I don't want nomads. When in doubt, bid Darklings. I mean, that's kind of true. I'll go Darklings 1 more at least. But I think I'm taking engineers after this because I really want to explore. All right, they're already teaming up against me. It's not good. They are joking, obviously, but yeah. I think I take engineers now. I'm tempted to take temp ship engineers and aim to... If I take temp ship, I think that means mermaids is going to just take the spade. And so then I do just get double dig, and I just build a bunch of dwellings in round 1. I mean, it's really weird. And I don't think dwelling rush engineers is actually particularly good, but if I start here and here, I get to already set up my bridge locations basically for the game, and this would be my other bridge location. And I could actually just dig this round 1, right? And so I would just have all my stuff set up. My leech would be perhaps a little interesting because I'm not sure there'll be a ton of action here, but if Darklings and whatever start here, this could be a nice little stretch of leech and town space. You know what? Screw it. I said I want to go experimental. This is a great time to finally go experimental, right? Like, let's go super weird. Let's go for the temp shipping engineers, do the dwelling rush, build some temples in round 2, maybe another dwelling or 2 in round 3, and then aim to hopefully be able to eke out a stronghold in round 4. Having all the bridges up in round 4 is pretty unlikely, but that's okay. And then we build a bunch of trading posts late, which is going to complete our towns. We'd love to be able to sanctuary in round 4 as well. Hitting both stronghold and sanctuary is going to be tricky, but there is the big building tile. So I don't know. Like there's a way this maybe works. We'll see. This month's sub is for Loki treats only. Wow. Okay. Well, thanks, Crix. That's thanks much again. 3 months already. That's wild. Really appreciate it, man. You'll you're kind of in that other server with us, Crix, but I had the Agricola game of my lifetime this morning. Like, oh my god. I mean, it was a bit silly because it was a bad player throwing me stuff, but I scored a 71 on Agricola this morning. It was absurd. Just everything went right. Oh my god. I think I gotta start here still, and then I think I do start here and I temp ship to this hex? Or do I start here? Maybe starting here is the right play. It doesn't matter. I guess here is the right play though, because then I dig this hex and go here. If Nomad's... Oof. If Nomad starts here though and digs this, maybe I... Ugh. This is a little awkward, because if Nomads decides to start here and single dig first move, then the game plan takes a hit. I guess I do start here then, so I can take this if Mermaids doesn't take it first action. This is, I don't know, this is a bit silly, but did the all-player commentary already happen? So Fofo, unfortunately, despite my promises that I was going to make an all-player commentary happen, it didn't happen. There is no all-player commentary because all of us were pretty wishy-washy on times about when would work, and a lot of the people I reached out to, it was like the scheduling was really tough this weekend, so I just said screw it, especially since I commentated the F2O game yesterday. I was kind of already busy with that too. So as for the 71 in Agricola, yes, just to go on that tangent, it was absurd. I got to build the first room in round 5. I then was able to wind up getting out a pretty good series of Ox, play an early Animal Pen. I had a really early Wood Cart down as well. I grew first in round 5. After growing in round 5, round 6, I got a 4 read action. I got a 7 food action. I then was able to SP into a what was an 8 wood action because there was 6 wood, and because I had Wood Cart, I got to take 8 wood. So then I wound up. I also then I got my Animal Pen down. So I had this like all this crazy stuff, and then because somebody went cow mom, I grew in round 5. Other people grew in 6 and 7, and then I double built at the start of 8 and grew in 8 and 9 with a Wood Cart. And so like, yeah, even though I built all these wood rooms with no discounts, like I just had insane actions. Everything fell my way. And then it was a constable game, so there was 5 victory points. Although I'm the one that played the constable, so I don't know. It was absolutely nutty. I'll never get a 71 again, but I'll also like it was a bad player and like everything just broke perfectly. Like it was insane. But whatever. That's what I said in the server when I saw the post game. If anyone wants some Sunday afternoon reading material, ask Ryan to describe in detail how he scored 71. Yeah, I mean it was absolutely insane. I'm not gonna have an Agricola game that good in a long time, but that one was really fun, so not gonna complain. Anyhow, looping back to this game. So the game plan is to take temp ship, do a dwelling rush. I do want to be able to build trading posts late. One of the slight issues with this game plan is actually where the neighbors are going to be for the trading posts as well as for my temples, because I'm not going to have a neighbor up through here early. So this part of the game plan is actually going to be an issue for sure. Trying to form a town up here I'm realizing is going to be extra difficult unless mermaids get over here rapidly, which is, I guess, what we're hoping for. I do take temp ship here and go full on experimental and see how this goes. What would 71 be in TM loosely? Yeah, 200. Yeah, I agree. 71 in Agricola is my highest score of all time. I was on a call with another like really good player who's played hundreds of games on the Play Agricola site, like 800, and his highest score ever is 68. So 71 is just like one of those like lifetime games where just everything goes right, and even when everything goes right in a game, you're not expecting to score 71. Like breaking 70 is absolutely absurd. Like it is not a thing that should happen. So yeah, it was a real outlier of a thing that will not be seen again. But yeah, it was great fun. We do see Nomads is right here. I would like this red hex. So if I get double dig, I am going to dig here, partly just for a little leech, partly because it have better neighbors then for building things. And Nomads aren't going to single dig. Oh, they couldn't even. So there we go. So yeah, I'll double dig, take this hex, and I will just build 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll have dwellings at the start, and yeah, that's where we're gonna get our worker production going, and we'll see how this goes. I mean, this is a really fun game plan. I'm really excited to play this game, which is good because I obviously had a period there where I wasn't excited about playing a lot of my Agricola games because they were going so iffily. But this one is gonna be really good fun. I just realized something I could have done, but I guess I'm already committed to this. I guess I could still undo, but I won't. But one thing that could have been fun was actually to take this hex and set up. I could just double. Like I could take this and set up this stretch of stuff. But because this would also have a neighbor, so I don't have to take the neighbor here. I could set this up, but this looks good too. So. But yeah, as long as we're kind of goofing off, and Crick said that this month's sub was for Loki treats, we'll go spoil Loki here too for Crick's sake. I'll go get a treat, and we'll have quick dog time. Hi, buddy. Yeah, do you want a treat? All right, come on. All right, gonna get you on camera over here, buddy. Yeah. All right, let's scoot everything here and see how bad. Oh, I'm supposed to take leech. Look at that. Whoa! Trying to get the treat when it's not time yet. All right, come here. Sit. All right. I think you're more or less on camera. Yeah, you are. Good boy. All right, stay. Can you look at the people? Stay. Okay. Good boy. All right. We'll build this one next. My opponents are feeding me a nice amount of leech early, actually, which is a convenient thing. Oh, I didn't realize that I gave nomads a neighbor, and they didn't have a neighbor. That was nice, but oh well. You're thrilled when you hit 35 in Agricola? Yeah, that's very understandable. To be fair, we are playing with a lot of expansion decks, which slightly raises, in my opinion, the average like scores and power. If you're used to like base deck Agricola, it's hitting 71 would be a little harder. But anyhow, as for this game, yeah, if I was paying a little more attention, maybe I don't give nomads a neighbor. Although, do I care much? Now I get why nomads sent the priest to fire first move, though. They were going to take single dig if it came back around, just because they needed a neighbor. So, mermaids opened Earth 1. Makes a lot of sense. Darklings opened Fire 1. Very good for them. I'm very glad to see that. I think that's a really good move. Darklings decided to take a priest action. Given that they're not getting early leech, I think trying to eke out the sanctuary in round 1 just isn't happening. So I think they're going to just build dwellings here by digging. And then they should very easily be able to hit this sanctuary in round 2. So I like this move from Darklings a lot. The thing is, they're risking losing out Earth 1. But if they're correctly reading what I'm doing, maybe they know that I don't want Earth 1. In which case, yeah, they get to open Fire 1. Nomads just takes Earth 1 as well. Makes sense. A little unfortunately, Mermaids goes here. I was hoping Mermaids was going to take this hex and then this hex, just so I would have a neighbor up here. Mermaids going this way is fine, but I think this is under less threat than this is. So it's a slight bummer, because having a neighbor up here would have been great, because I think this is where my... this is originally where I wanted my sanctuary town. Which meant I was hoping to build a temple here next round. I want to build 2 temples next round. I want to build a temple for Water 1 and a temple for Earth 2. And get that double temple stuff going. And I can do that right here. But I was hoping to be able to do it here. One of them here. But, oh well. One downside to building the trading post next round is I'm going to feed... I am going to feed so much leech to mermaids in round 2 by building these temples. So, could be a slight risk, but Uh, we're doing silly things on some levels. Nomads does not single dig and passes. It's reasonable. I get out another dwelling. Getting good victory points from this dwelling rush and have, you know, good worker production already. Mermaids doesn't have to pass, but if they pass and I get the spade, that's pretty nice. Although 5 coins and a cult step is really good here for me. Because I do want a lot. I need quite a few coins to get these trading posts or these temples out. I have a choice actually. So the spade is nice purely because it does give me another hex, and I'm gonna need hexes for this round. So the temples cost 12 coins in total. So maybe I am just passing for this. Not taking the spade feels wrong, but I just don't really need it as much as I need this. I'm not going to get a lot of leech early here, unfortunately, because these guys already upgraded next to me, and they're not... These hexes next to me are not really going to get taken, so... We'll see. I'm doing weird stuff here, so... What's my highest ever score in Terra Mystica? It's a good question. Hey, Heroic Logic. Thanks for dropping by. My highest score in Terra Mystica is, like, I think I have a Snellman game where I got... like a 190 or 190 something with Chaos Magicians. Yeah, I got a 197. But that comes with an asterisk because it was a 3-player game, so I don't really count it. So the one that I really count is I got a 186 Darklings game that was actually in that was played in D3. I think it's relatively recent. Maybe not that recent anymore, but it was a really cool. Okay, must be kind of recent. Why am I not seeing it? Maybe I did go too fast already. All right, you know what? Screw it. Control F. 186. There it is. Okay, it was a year ago, but I have this 186 in a D3 game is pretty impressive because this is some really high-level competition, and getting 186 with Darklings is pretty sweet, especially because this is 186 with all of us starting at 20. One of the tricky points with scores is that on BGA, because we start auctions at 30, sometimes at weak tables you just get to start at 30 points and then get those like crazy 200 scores. Personally, I think 186 in D3 is more impressive than 200 in a random arena game, but that is up to each person. The other like really interesting thing about this 186 game is like this isn't even a track that you would like stare at and be like, how is this a 186 game? Like stacked trading post isn't exactly ideal. Lots of early dwellings certainly is, but yeah, this one is just really cool. I think this might even be the game. No, I don't think this. I got around 3. Let's see where I was. I think I just opened. Yeah, I just opened Sanctuary, and then I got Sanctuary 4 dwellings into a temple. And I just got to take quite a few coins actions, I think, if I'm remembering right broadly. But yeah, this was a really cool one. Anyhow, hey, it's actually my turn, and I should really do things. Looks like I'm going to feed my opponents crap tons of power this round. Maybe I just feed mermaids. Actually, I should just feed mermaids instead of feeding nomads currently, because I might still get mermaids as a neighbor this round, depending on what they're doing. But mermaids have so much power this game. They're definitely in a good spot. I'm not a huge fan of what I'm about to do, but that's okay. Mermaids have a lot of power because they did get the first Priest of Water too, which Priest of Water is also a really good thing here this game. So, your high score is also a 186 Darklings game. Awesome. Your Agricola high score is 112 solo. Yeah, the solo game admittedly is very different. I don't know what my solo high score is, but it's certainly higher than 71. But 71 probably is my. I probably did just set my personal best at Agricola this morning. I'm not gonna have. I'm not gonna have games like that again, where just I'll have games again where like most things go right, but most of the time I'm not playing. I'm playing slightly higher caliber players in general usually. That game I was just lucky. Like we were playing with a somewhat weaker opponent, and just everything broke right, and they handed me a lot, and whatever. But yeah, it was pretty silly. Darklings turns the center blue. Um, they Darklings wants to build a sanctuary, but when I said they were going to be able to build a sanctuary, I missed on the fact that they still didn't get any leech, and by me passing on to a coin tile and Nomad's passing early for coins, Darklings does have a coin issue here. Darklings maybe doesn't get the sanctuary out, which is going to be pretty painful. Darklings is going to get this center sanctuary tile though, since I didn't start here and didn't pressure them because I'm doing weird things. So we'll see how well my weird things wind up for me. I'm really not sure. I obviously am not taking Earth 1 though. I'm just going to Temple for Water 1, and then I'm going to Temple for Earth 2. Earth 2 is still really important, especially when playing a tall engineer game. I really need worker production. I need so many workers. I'm not sure about this lone H3 start. I'll watch your rebroadcast for this one. Nomads goes for Sanctuary. I didn't necessarily foresee that coming. It does make me regret not upgrading here first because I would have really loved that. Mermaids are not taking Double Dig, they're taking Priest. So even if they are coming up over here, it's going to be too late probably. Actually, it's almost certainly going to be too late, but oh well. I'm taking Temple for Water 1 here. I do have this cult step I forgot about. Cult stepping fire is not really good because it's not going to get me a worker. I could cult step water and expect to send one more priest to water. That feels pretty good next round, send my priest to water. But sending priest to air is also tempting if I could get the first priest to air. But I'm guessing that's not going to happen. I think Nomads is likely to send priest to air. Don't really know. We'll see how it goes. Darklings does wind up just building a dwelling. Not getting that sanctuary out is definitely unfortunate, but I don't know if he really had a way around it. Nomads is going to tempt ship and get some dwellings out. That's good. Mermaids is advancing ship. I think that's pretty questionable. It's really using a lot of coins early for a thing you don't need to do. If Mermaids just dug this and this, they'd have so many hexes. I guess he's just going for the points. And he's probably going to delay building dwellings until next round, which is a bit of a bummer because I was hoping for him earlier, obviously. But I guess Mermaids could still go Sanctuary as well. So maybe I do just build this first. There's really no way Mermaids is joining me up through this stretch. So yeah, I guess I'm always building this here. So may as well just go for it. I don't love feeding my opponents this much power, especially Mermaids. Mermaids is having such a good start in terms of the leech they're getting, but I'm not really sure they're leveraging it that well. So we'll see how that plays out. I don't really know if I'm building dwelling. Oof, an expensive trading post from Darklings is definitely not what I would do. Mermaid's not using a lot of resources and power this round. I mean, I'm sure they're just setting up for the next round, but really, they really don't know if that's a good move. Darklings is probably going to pass on to the big building tile, which means I'll get the spade for the next round, which is pretty good. I will just cult step water at this point. I think it's likely I'm going to send a priest to water. I don't think I'm getting this first priest to air. And even if I do, I guess I just send the priest to air anyhow then. I don't know. This feels fine. I haven't got a ton of leech this game as engineers, and that's a lot of my fault. You know, if I just played a more traditional engineers game here and started here, I might have invited nomads. I would have a lot more leech party going here. I could have started here. I could have upgraded early, got more leech. The big building tile is open, so that's actually really exciting news, I think. I think it means I pass for the spade, I build like a dwelling next round, and then I just pass for big building, and I hit big building in round 4. I could have this town already set up, and then, yeah, that feels really good. I like that a lot. This could be a really nice break overall. Definitely am templing here, getting that earth 2, getting that worker production going. I think this is going to be a pretty sweet tall engineers game still, but we'll see. Earth 2, there still is that Earth 1 copy, but yeah, I don't need it. It's not the game plan. We're not going to get distracted by that stuff. I pass for the spade, right? Spade feels good. And then I try to pass on to the big building tile, assuming nobody else is going to have a super fast round. Nomads has way too much to do this round. He needs to build dwellings at the very least. Mermaids also needs to double dig and presumably build a lot of dwellings. Darklings is the slight enigma here in terms of how fast of a round they could have. So we'll see on that front. Mermaids digs this, which is a little interesting. I was really hoping that mermaids were going to come be my neighbor soon, and they're being really slow about it, which is annoying. Normally mermaids would be building this and this, but he is not. Well, he says one more spade. Hopefully it's this, but we'll see. It is not, though. He's still focusing on the northern hexes, so he's not getting here fast enough for my tastes, but oh well. The priest to air is nice just for workers, but I don't know if I need it. Darklings is building a temple here, and he takes Earth 1. I assume he's going to build one more dwelling, but I might need to pass on to this really quickly. I might not even be able to send my priest to water at all like I was thinking I was going to. Which is a bit of a bummer, but it's okay. I eventually want to take this hex for more bridges, but I think just taking this here is fine. Or maybe it's supposed to be this hex. This hex actually annoys mermaids a decent bit. And this is going to be my sanctuary, and this needs to be my stronghold town. So I do need this hex, actually. Yeah, never mind. It should be this one. Just tuning in, glad to catch me. I'm glad that you're catching this too, because I am doing wacky stuff and it's fun. Anyhow, so team, I really would like to greet a priest to water here, but Darklings is gonna pass, and I want this tile so badly for my tall engineers game plan. The workers are super critical, the points are super critical, the tempo on taking a coins action is super important. So I got like 2 coins, 2 workers, 8 points. It's way too important to risk losing this to Darklings. And Darkly just doesn't have anything to do. So anyhow, I produce 6 power. So we convert to coins. I don't think I'm actually getting any more leech this round, which is a bit of a bummer. I mean, Nomads is going to take this hex, so actually I am going to get a free leech. I'll convert one more. I might get a little more from Nomads. Might build here and here, which would actually be a great break. And then this guarantees that I still have enough power to take coins without having to burn. Yeah, this looks good. Not sending the priest somewhere is a real bummer, though, but it's okay. Talking about experimental stuff, you just somehow managed to win a cultist game with no Earth 1 and 0 connection points and against 2 other cult factions. Curious to see what I'm up to. Hey, that's really cool. Glad to hear that worked. Cultist is really a very cool faction because they are so flexible like that. They can play a lot of weird stuff. The thing that I'm up to is I'm running and we did get Nomads coming here, so this is great. I have the neighbor that I need up here. This is looking so beautiful for my crazy game plan of tall engineers with early bridges. It's coming together, everybody. I'm not even sure it's fully there, to be fair. I need an absurd amount of workers to make this happen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 8. I have 10 workers. The problem is these take up 6 of them. This is 7 of them already. And so I don't even know how many bridges I'm going to get down this next round. But look, it doesn't fully matter because I'm having a blast running a really weird style here. Going for the early temp ship into this nonsense, like the dwelling rush engineers into ignoring Earth 1, building up, spamming water 1, spamming air 1, way too much fun. The priest to air is gone, a bit of a bummer, but I'm just gonna wind up probably just sending my priest to air next round anyhow. Although I could use my priest as workers if I need to. We'll see. I have lots of options. It's fun. Where is Chris Ho? Did he say he's addicted? He's been really wanting to watch Tall Engineers, so yeah, I might actually have to point out this VOD to him. But I think the end of this round, I will have a sanctuary, a stronghold, and 2 bridges. And I'll have water 1, air 1, so I'll be set to really abuse these rounds. I think the really ideal plan for me is to have the longest round next round, which I think is reasonably likely. So that way I can pass, have a really quick round 5, and get back onto the big building tile. If I'm able to do all of that, it'll just be a really fun, really just kind of focused victory point game plan. I don't even know how good it's going to be, but we'll find out. One of the downsides is tall engineers do tend to like to play the cults a bit, and I'm not doing a lot of culty things either. I'm really not sure I'm going to build enough this game to score enough, but we'll find out. It's a really fun game plan thus far. Nomads is doing really well here, actually. I was curious about their game plan, but they stockpiled a lot of coins and they set up for this double shipping stuff quite nicely, and the 2 ship actually is a really interesting line on this map to get lots of dwellings. I guess long term the issue is this just always is so hard to make part of the network, but Nomads is just building a ton of high VP dwellings this round. He's going to end at 8 dwellings, obviously, which is quite nice. This power I'm supposed to decline. I can only produce 6 power, so declining that's a bit of a sad, especially as engineers. Actually, I'm going to accept it anyhow. I'm willing to pay 1 point for 1 power, so it's okay. That's what I just did there. 1 priest to worker next round, you think? Yeah, I agree. I think I need 1 priest to a worker in order to build an extra bridge, but I might also actually just get enough power for the bridge action, so we'll see. I need the coins very badly to make this work. In fact, I might need more coins than I have. I only need 1 more coin that I have, so the power is coins. So yeah, I have enough resources to make this work. I could convert the power you have to a money first. You can't. I was already out of the round, so I couldn't convert anymore. Otherwise, that would have been a good idea. I should have probably converted one more power last round, but I didn't, and you missed that. Yeah, that's fine. Regardless, this is pretty good. Mermaids has a lot of things that are going pretty well, but has some issues. I am really excited to see that I have neighbors here. I'm hoping that Mermaids is still going to be a neighbor buddy here, but if I have to just build some expensive trading posts late, so be it. But this round, I could build the stronghold here. I build my sanctuary probably here. And so I'm going to have Air 1 that's not going to do anything for me this round, but it's okay. I mean, we'll see. I could maybe take a, I don't know. We'll see. I have options. I could take Fire 2 with the Sanctuary and take Air 1 next round. Yeah, actually, that's an option. I could do that. I could Fire 2 with my Sanctuary, because then I would get the boost of 2 towns this round. And the towns this round could be really helpful, actually. And I do kind of want to build another temple, because getting a temple again gets me back to that 5 power production. That's nice, although I don't super need that. Yeah, I don't know. Fire 2 is not that bad of an idea, though. I don't really need to commit to it right now, though, so I think the game plan is to build a trading post here and go for my stronghold. I think that's the right thing to do. I'm always building the stronghold. I already have water 1. Yeah, this is fine to do first. And see where we go. Which tile did I start on in the north again? I started on this hex, and then I temp shipped here and here. The reason I chose not to start here is because I felt if I started here that it might entice nomads to start next to me, and I was worried that nomads would maybe find a way to single dig this first move. It didn't seem likely, but it felt a little safer to start here and then temp ship here. I don't know if it mattered much. The other thing is, as I said too, the advantage to starting here is that maybe I was supposed to temp ship to here and here, because then I would have already had this all set up. Now I still do need to take this hex in order to set up the last bridge spot, which I don't really know when I'm going to get around to that. Although to be fair, I don't have to get to 3 bridges that quickly. It's quite all right to have a stronghold and 2 bridges, right? Like, I think as Eurogamers, we're so ingrained in like trying to maximize efficiency always that we kind of forget that doing inefficient things to get to max efficiency doesn't necessarily make it correct. So like a stronghold and 2 bridges is already a lot of points. So 3 bridges or bust. I mean, look, part of me feels that way too. Don't get me wrong. Like, that's what I want. But the smarter part of me is like, well, it's actually okay if I don't. But we'll see. Nomads goes for another temple, taking water 1. Makes enough sense. They do want water 1. I will go for a stronghold. I still think that I'm going to try to send priests to air. Just because it's good cult. Like, it's decent cult points, and they come back with rewards. Oof, mermaids are going for their stronghold. This is way too early for mermaids to build a stronghold, although they're really hitting this ship scoring thing. They were on it in round 2, and now they're on it in round 4 again. So they are going to score a lot, but their economy is iffy because of it, and their town space has a lot of issues too. I think mermaids have definitely been making a lot of mistakes, but I like Darklings. They're setting up their towns. Darklings' issues is just they don't have neighbors, but I guess they'll have a neighbor here, and they'll get stuff figured out too. You hit elite yesterday, thanks a large part to all of the strategy on this stream. Wow, Hey, thanks. I mean, I'm glad. Like, congrats on hitting elite. It's definitely not a trivial or easy task at all. Bizzle was in the Fire 2 finals yesterday, right? And I still remember, like, it was like 2 seasons ago. He was up at like 3 in the morning playing games just so he could hit elite because there was only like 1 day left. And he did hit elite to his credit. So, like, good for the man. But yeah, he was super. He definitely had to focus on that. Sorry, briefly distracted here while I think about what to do. Uh, I guess I do just Sanctuary for Fire 2 and I make my towns this round. There's a lot of economic boost here to just get in towns. Although I guess if I'm going to do that, I have a free move here still where I could just build a bridge. Like, I'm always building this bridge, and it's not going to prevent me from doing anything else. Priest of Water will give you that red hex for the third bridge, but plenty of time to do that. Yeah, I mean, that's not going to come. I mean, the thing is, that's not going to come for quite some time, right? Like, I don't know when I want to try to worry about getting this, but we'll see. Mermaids does have a lot of points. They're playing. I mean, I'm playing a high VP game, and they are too. Kind of. Actually, everybody's still scoring pretty well. We all started a lot of points, and people are doing some good things to score. So we'll see. This is a wacky game that wasn't necessarily supposed to work. Yeah. Well, okay. I'm glad to hear that generally the content is useful to you guys strategy-wise and whatever. That is definitely, obviously, a decent bit of the focus here for me is to try to give people some useful advice and whatever. All right, I will go Fire 2 here. And then I guess I will just Temple for Air 1. The downside to the Temple Air 1 plan is that I'm going to have a kind of long round next round. And I was originally trying to have a really fast round. Maybe I still do just take Air 1 here. Do I really need the... I don't really actually need the... Because the thing is, I don't really want to have a long round next round. Next round, I kind of want to just build a trading post. Maybe 2. And then I want to pass back onto the big building tile. Because I'm going to outlast nomads here, so this is going to be open. Am I outlasting nomads? Huh, that's going to be awkward. If I can't outlast nomads, well, then I get on the ship tile and I could do a decent bit of ship scoring. Maybe. I don't have that much resources, though. I'm playing a really wacky game. I'm just going to go Air 1. I don't really think I want to build another temple at all. I mean, maybe I will, but I don't know when. Not sure how deep you'll try to go into the rank. You don't have time for too many games. Too busy watching the stream. Elite was definitely your goal, so it felt good to hit. Yeah, awesome. I mean, Elite's a great goal. I'm going to send a priest to Air as well. To be fair, Nomads already have a little shipping, so maybe Nomads is happy with just this tile. I'm not sure, but we'll find out. I don't have another move after this. I'm just building another bridge, so... passing for 14, though, feels good. I like that. Oof, good news. Nomads does pass. Okay, that's what I wanted to see. Nomads goes on to ship tile. Perfect. I can get 4 coins, or 6 coins, actually. 6 coins is just better, because I'm not going to pause for anything. I'm going to have a round where I think I'm just building a trading post next round. Maybe 2. I'll probably build 2 trading posts, but I don't have time for anything else. I don't think. I mean, I really want to get back on this big building tile. It's so important. My opponent's economies are all very lopsided. Everybody's been saving for these trading posts. Darkline's economy is the most like equivalent here. Like this is quite good, but everybody else is tough stuff. Mermaids takes a bridge. That looks just horrible to me. Like I get that it helps them make this big giant town, but they did not want to spend 3 coins on a bridge. But oh well. Your goal is now just finishing arena in the top 50 and getting to 500 elo. Awesome. Yeah, those are some really tough plat marks, to be honest. You're worried about the next arena season. You've not even seen the map it's going to be played on. That's fair. Lakes is a wild time. I can make a town. Making town feels good. I said I wanted a trading post. I think I'm just taking 8 VP towns. There's a lot of cults. There's a lot of cult VP left in this game. I'm going to have a lot of priests for the final round too, which will be nice. But I think just taking 8 VP towns is a pretty good strategy here. And as I said earlier, part of playing these culty or like tall engineers is usually to try to compete on cults too. So, but yeah, I think the game plan is build 1 more trading post, partly because it helps boost Air 1 a little further, and it's just because it replaces a dwelling that's otherwise not scoring. It also lets me just take the other 8 VP town, and then I pass on to big buildings, is hopefully what I'll be allowed to do. Crazy how uncontested the cults are. Yeah. You only know this map, only picked up the game this season, so you have a few games played on the base map. Oh, wow, that's kind of wild. Like, that's really crazy for me to hear, but it makes tons of sense. Like, yeah, absolutely. Mermaids, I presume, are taking a coin town. I'm hoping that Mermaids actually doesn't get back on the ship tile, because the rest of my opponents are actually still doing pretty well on scoring, and I chose not to play a network game for once in my life. And the downside of that is the rest of the table's not really enforcing network scoring as well as they should be. Oof, but Mermaids takes the other 8 VP town, so that's a bit of a bummer. I could still take the 2 VP town, like the 2 key town. It feels like it might be right. I'm gonna actually press my think button. I've been thinking a lot this game, but the 2 key town is going to get me like at least 2 points on every cult that I'm otherwise not getting, I think. The downside is it's not providing me a lot of direct victory points, but I think it's... The thing is, I might wind up building temples next round anyhow, just to free up another trading post, although I'm building a lot of expensive stuff is part of the problem, but I think the 2 key town still pays me enough to be worth it. I just don't think there's that much cult fights. I have lots of priests. I could build town, or I could build temples. I mean, my opponents have lots of priests, so maybe this is wrong, but I don't know. I think playing culty here is still worth it. So I'm gonna go for it. Oh wow, you guys both have very few games on the base map. Wow, that's very interesting. Like, I mean, it makes total sense. Like the arena season's been fire and ice, and if you get into the game and you want to play arena, and the like, some of the commentating that you can see on Zorus's streams or mine are based around this map. I mean, it makes enough sense. It's just like such a kind of foreign idea to me that that's actually how it would be. Because, yeah. Mermaids have a spade still. You'd think they're going to come over this way, but I don't know for sure. But I really am hoping I can pass for the big building tile. And, okay, it looks like I'm going to be able to. Good. I'm not sure where Mermaid's other town comes in at all, if it's even going to come. So I'm really warming up to this 2 key town. There's so many priest slots open, and Darklings doesn't really want to fight it. I think I'm going to get a lot of cult points here still this game, and my points is still quite good. I pass for 9 here, and I'm going to have just a giant amount of points in the final round. Like, this tall engineers game is actually working super well, and I'm so glad I played this, because I don't even know if I needed to play tall engineers this game, but this was finally the track that and the past tile situation where it was like tall engineers could have a really awesome game, and so this is cool. I could bridge to the red hex first to use my spade. I am aware of that. I bridging first is tempting, but I don't want to. I don't want to risk losing this big building tile. I mean, this is 8 points. Again, setting up one more bridge is actually not that important. It's just not. While I think my opponents all have stuff to do, I just don't need another bridge to win this game. I do think hitting the 8 point tile and getting another coins power action and making sure the table doesn't get another coins power action or whatever, I think the combination of that is worth making sure I deny. So that's what I'm going to do. I just don't. Again, I might never build another bridge, but setting up a stronghold for 2 bridges is still like quite all right here. So anyhow, sorry, I'm getting distracted. I'm producing 5 power. I'm not really expecting to get any leech, and I don't think I would accept any leech anyhow. Yeah, that seems correct. So get to pass for 9 points. We're already at 99, and then more so than that, we're like crushing this game actually, aren't we? Because by passing onto this tile, I'm securing. I have 8 points on the pass. I have 12 points on the pass. Stronghold means I have 18 points on the pass, and I have at least 12 victory points of trading posts that are super easy. So I have 30 more points already. Like I have 129, just no problems, not even a question. And then I have 129 plus pretty good cults. Maybe crushing the game's not quite right because we all started at 30 and all my opponents are at least at 70 points already. They're doing lots of good things. But this feels quite nice. If Nomads make sure, like if Nomads is having a long enough round and has enough to do that Mermaids is not going to get the ship tile, that's going to be really awesome for me too. Looks outside for a blue moon scene by High Cult Game. I mean, to be fair, it does look like Mermaids is going to lock out Water Cult. I think I'll get Earth Cult from Darklings, but Nomads might defend me on Fire Cult. So I don't totally know if I'm going to win that many cults, but I think I'm going to win Earth Cult and get at least second on Air, Water, and Fire. So that's at least that's still 20 cult points, which is it means I have a 150-point game at least. Like, if it was so predictable, he should have been more for Engis. I mean, he's partly saying it's predictable, I think, because I'm just the best player at the table. All these guys are rated fine, but none of them are great. And that's largely what we've seen. Like, I think Mermaids has taken a really interesting path to points, and I think it's been suboptimal. Mermaids should be winning Network and having 3 towns, in my opinion. It would have been very easy for them to do that, and they've just refused to, like, build over here. And just the way they've built and developed is tricky. I guess they're still going to try to take this hex and then get another bridge for a town, like a really ugly town here, but we'll see. But yeah. Surprised that I wouldn't accept some leech. You've always thought Edgy accept almost all the leech outside of the last round. How effectively? So, yeah. So the tricky thing here, Relentless, is I'm doing a very weird Engineers game where normally engineers accept all the leech because they are trying to build towns. They have Earth 1, Water 1. They have super cheap structures. They're trying to fight Network. I don't have Earth 1. I'm not fighting Network. So I have a lot more limited ways here to actually turn resources into points than you're used to. If I accept extra leech, it's probably so that I could like get a spade action to dig this hex and then spend a bunch of workers and build a dwelling. And by the time I'm using that many resources to do that, sure, I get 3 points from another bridge, but it doesn't actually, like, it's not actually an efficient conversion. I don't have network aspirations here. The only way that I could have network hopes is if I was willing to pay for 3 shipping and get here, which earlier in the game plan, I did have dreams of, like, hitting 3 shipping, but obviously I gave up on that. Mermaids is trying really hard to stall out Nomads. Although Darklings is also actually kind of stalling out too. So Darklings might get the ship tile. I think as long as Mermaids don't get the ship tile, that's pretty good. Oof, and Darklings takes this. Mermaids never taking this hex was a big mistake. And Darklings is actually going to have great network this game because of that. I really like that move from Darklings. But if Darklings got Sanctuary round 2, they'd be close. Yeah, I agree. The fact that Darklings just got denied early leech completely was a big difference. The fact that I just didn't start here was pretty, I think, a bummer for Darklings for sure compared to what it could have been. But yeah, I don't know. This tall edging is cool. Yeah, I'm really happy that I've played. You've only seen tall edgings on this map. Oh, interesting. There's definitely been some expansion-y engineers games that I've had on stream, or not that I've played, but other players have played while I've been on stream. Nomads does pass here. I'm hoping Darklings passes for the ship scoring. Darklings does need at least 2 shipping this game anyhow, so I think it makes sense for him to pass here. My dream is gone. Huh. Oh, his dream was to get here. I mean, I don't think Darklings needed to get here. I think this is still fine for Darklings. Like, yeah, he's not going to get another town, but he doesn't super need another town. He has Water 1. He has good network. Like, I still like Darklings' game a lot here if he just takes the ship tile. If Mermaids gets this ship tile, it's actually a pretty big swing still. Like, Mermaids have a lot better chances if that happens. Nomads did find a wacky way to connect here. And Nomads is possibly going to... Although Nomads has no more towns. Nomads does have some good Water 1 stuff to build, though. Yeah, I don't know. It's interesting. My opponents have all had pretty good games. Like, they're all doing reasonable enough things, which, again, they're, like, reasonable rated players, so... Darklings chooses not to pass for the ship tile. Ugh, that sucks. Why are you handing the Mermaids a 15-point tile when, like, that's at least 6 points for Darklings. Oh, that's such a bad move. Well, it's bad for me. I don't know if it's that bad it's bad for him though, right? That can't have been right. He used a priest as a worker, like, that can't have been right. I don't think it matters. I don't think I needed that, but ugh, don't like it. Actually, maybe I'm supposed to dig this. This gives me a neighbor. Neighbors field seems important here. I don't want to build all my trading posts expensively. It just feels so weird to build only 7 structures while your buildings are so cheap. Yeah, it is weird. You've only played this game like 25 or 30-ish times. Oh, okay, gotcha. Same here. It's a surprising present. Didn't pay attention to that. My bad, I guess. I need coins because I'm building some really expensive trading posts all over the place. Do I think tall edgy is viable on lakes? Probably, but to be honest, I have very little help to offer anybody on lakes. Yeah, lakes is not going to be very helpful. Like, I'm not going to be very useful to any of you pretty soon, but. I do want to win Earth Cult, but I don't think Darklings wants to send priests to Earth. I do have a lot of priests here. Sending them to fire is going to be good. I could send a priest to... Nomad's already going priest to fire. So we'll see. At least one of us is happy. But my next move is going to be priest to fire. I do have the ability this round, I think, to go trading post, temple, trading post. Yeah, I almost certainly do. I cannot accept that leech. It's way too much. next arena season will change that. I mean, I will hopefully get better at lakes next arena season, but yeah, I don't really like lakes, so I'm actually not sure how much arena I'm gonna play next season. Because I don't really like landscapes and I don't really like lakes, so I might just play a lot more simple tables and make my own settings and play those games and have fun and let the arena fight be whatever it is. But yeah, we'll see. Mermaids getting the ship tile obviously like kind of annoyed me because I thought like it's a big gift to them, but Darklings is taking their blue hex now, and like mermaids network isn't that great. It's probably fine. I'm sending priest to fire. I'm assuming nomads are going to go priest to fire. I will then answer priest to air, and then I'll be kind of threatening to close out cults. Given this rating of player, I'm kind of guessing nomads is going to wind up just closing these cults out, but again, that's okay. If my end game is simply that I win Earth Cult and get second places on the rest, that's still fine. I think the 2 Keytown was still totally worth it, even if that's how it plays out. Yeah. We need my content to learn. What is it that I don't like about lakes? So, the reason I don't really like lakes is that I really like. Let's actually switch the question to start with. So, why do I love fjords and why do I like base quite a bit? The reason I really love fjords is because everybody kind of starts on these central landmasses, and you tend to have pretty good leech parties, but you also have really tense fights for hexes then. I think part of what makes Terra Mystica such a special game is that you want neighbors, but you also want good room to expand. And so maps that encourage players to really push into that dynamic by encouraging them to start close to each other, but fighting to expand for key hexes right next to each other, really, like, I don't know, that's what I love. And so Fjords does that beautifully. The base map does that pretty well, especially kind of right at the center of the base map. This map does it reasonably well. There tends to be a decent amount of fighting kind of right up in here. Just actually the whole center, this whole like central little landmass tends to have some really interesting stuff going on. Lakes, because of all the like little lakes and the lack of connectivity, tends to have a lot less leech. It has way more like unpredictable starting spots, and I think it encourages players to be more spread out from each other. And I should have burned power there, by the way. I would be accepting 2 for 1 still, I think. So that's a small error. But anyhow, Lakes has that lack of like that part that I don't love. Part of what I find so interesting on Fjords is that there's some really interesting connection fights. Lakes, because it has all these connection paths, I don't find there's as many critical hexes. In terms of making towns, it can be a little more fighty. But broadly, Lakes is just this like weird kind of lack of connection. There's a lack of leech that makes it harder to have like explosive starts and explosive games. It makes it harder to town a bunch, and towns are hard on the map, but I don't know, like the map does not do what I want out of Terra Mystica, but it's okay. I'm going to finally build this dwelling so that I can just have a cheap trading post. Although building a dwelling just so I have a cheap trading post is a little questionable. Although I need to build a dwelling anyhow if I want to build enough trading posts. So I guess there's that. That makes a lot of sense. Thanks for explaining. Cool. Leech parties on fjords are often in a plenty. Yes, exactly. That's why I love fjords. Lakes is the map that offers less flexibility and tends to push players more often towards some optimal moves. Maybe. Sounds like the play might feel a bit less rewarding to play while being able to get less stuff generally. Yeah, so I think... Oh, God, I said I was going to burn, and then I didn't. Nomads are presumably taking air, whatever here. They're taking air 1, but they still can close out air. Yeah, I don't know. I should probably just temple. I should just temple for air 3, right? I'm going to temple this round regardless. I have tons of resources, so winning air and then still winning earth here, presumably. has to be the right play. So I will take air with my next move. Because I still want to. I'll build 3 trading posts easily. I have tons of resources actually, and building trading posts is great, even if they're expensive. Anyhow, yeah, I personally find lakes a bit less rewarding to play. I really like Terra Mystica when we're actually all getting quite a bit of leech and all able to build quite a bit, and we can make towns and all that type of stuff. I think towns are just a lot harder to make on lakes too, since you do have such these kind of narrow paths. So yeah, I don't know. Broadly, I'm not a fan of this style that lakes seems to lead to, but it's okay. We've temporarily lost the points lead while we're, mucking about doing other things, but that's okay. We build this temple. We take, I mean, I could take air 2, I guess, but no reason not to just take air 3. Now I can finally accept free power, so that's good. You've been jumping in and out here, but wow, this game looks close. I don't actually think the game's particularly close, to be honest. I think I'm ahead by like 20 points, but we'll see. The thing is, I have a ton of trading post points hidden still, and I have a ton of passing points. I pass for 8 plus 4 plus 6. I mean, I pass for 18. So that's going to be good. I don't have any network. The rest of my opponent's networks is actually, yeah, they're in a super tight network fight, which is intriguing. Maybe I'm not that far ahead. I don't know. But I also think I think I'm getting 2 first places and 2 seconds on the cults. So, I mean, I have 24 cult points and I pass for 18, and I still have 18 points for building trading posts. That's like 60 points. So I'm at like 160. I don't think these players have 160s in them, but we'll see. Mermaids is passing for 5, so get him to 107. And then let's just say this network fight stays. That brings him to 119, and then they get some cults. I mean, that's... I'm pretty sure I still have this game by like 20 points, but we'll see. We'll see. Oh, hey, again, I'm really bad about paying attention to my notifications, but it looks like roughly 15 minutes ago, Random Badgers followed. So thanks for the follow, and awesome username. Random Badgers, totally in. As a citizen, citizen here of the great state of Wisconsin, our state animal or mascot or whatever is a badger, so I like the badger. There, Dark Lanes is sending Priest to Earth. That's a bummer. I'm going to send a Priest to Earth here, but I say that's a bummer because Darkling's fighting for Earth Cult was not in the plans. Mostly because I don't think it's that good for him to fight Earth Cult. The reason him fighting Earth Cult isn't that great is he's going to wind up spending priests that he could be using to dig or whatever. He does need to dig anyhow, doesn't he? Yeah, he can't send another priest. He's in a big network fight. He needs to build these 2 dwellings to tie or win network. And he has 1 dwelling he can build, but the other dwelling he needs to dig for. So I don't think that was a smart move, because I think he knows I'm just going to beat him on Earth anyhow. But we'll see. Just Temple for Earth 3? I might. You know how much you love round 6 temples to close cults? Yeah, I don't, but I could accept this 2 for 1, which I maybe should think just a little more about. No, I shouldn't. I have enough resources now for sure, but... So I don't love templating to close out cults. It makes a lot more sense as engineers, because the amount of resources you're spending to close it out is not a big deal, but... Generally, why I don't like it is because you wind up building a temple that's like 7 resources just to win a cult, and a lot of times you're in network fights or you have water 1, earth 1. So just building other stuff is just almost always like better points. It's just closing out cults aggressively is so mediocre in terms of like how you score points. So yes, I generally think it's pretty bad. Ooh, Mermaid sent another priest to Earth, actually. So that's kind of useful. So I think I am still going to win Earth Cult, but we'll see. Because I could just send my last priest to Earth at some point. But I'm going to finally start building some trading posts. To be fair, do I? Oh, I was going to say, I don't have another. I don't even have another dwelling to upgrade. So I was about to say, because it looks like I almost have enough to just build 2 trading post temple and build another trading post. But I wouldn't have a trading post left at that point. So I don't think I need to go for the other temple. But it does look like I actually might wind up with just some resource points left, which is not great, but Nomads maybe is closer to competitive here than I'm giving them credit for. Nomads needs to build 2 dwellings, which he has enough resources for, but doesn't have the hexes. So, but if Nomads gets a pretty good network here by he'll hard dig and build a dwelling, he'll tie for network. So he'll be at 114 plus a tied network is 130 basically, 138, 142. I mean, mid 140s is pretty good. So I'm gonna win this game by 10 to 15 points. Quite good, but this is actually a surprisingly interesting Nomads game. Nomads got very few towns, but they just got Earth 1, Water 1, played a decent economy, and apparently this is how you play Nomads on this map. I still haven't figured out how to play Nomads on this map, but I need to explore that more. So as I just said in chat, this was actually a pretty fun game. Like, all my opponents did reasonable enough things and have pretty good games. So Act 2, if going to have resources left to ensure Earth. I mean, at this point, I don't think it's necessary, but it is, you're not wrong. I certainly could do that and maybe should, but I'm just not going to. And maybe I'll come to regret that, but building expensive trading posts is definitely a little sad, but for engineers, it's only 2 extra coins. I have plenty of coins. They're obviously just great victory points here, so no reason not to. Just do this. I'm still, like, slightly debating if I'm digging and trying to get a bridge down or whatever, too, right? Like, I might get another bridge, but yeah, I said before that. Oh, you said that before the Darklings used their priest. Yeah, that's fair. I was pretty sure Darklings were going to use their priest to dig a dwelling, but it wasn't guaranteed. But yeah, Nomads goes for 14 network, as do Darklings. Makes lots of sense. They both share network. It's absolutely what they should do. They're going to pass. I'm always going to wind up sending a priest and winning the Earth track. So yeah, I'm going to get 2 first, 2 seconds. The 2 key town looks like it was, just actually a really good play. Even during that mid game there, I think skipping the fire 2 and just going for air 1 was a pretty good play. I didn't really need the towns obviously right away, and just building the towns in round 5 and still being able to take a lot of cult towns worked really well. Again, as tall engineers, you're hoping to get quite a few cult points. I mean, I'm playing this game kind of Swarmlings like, right? The 7 structure swarmlings. So the same ideas kind of apply. You want to hit your pass tiles well. So ultimately, things have been fun. So I'm doing this, and then I think I am just gonna dig and build a dwelling and go for the bridge. So it cost me 2 resources for that, 2 for the bridge, and 4 resources for the dig. So it's an 8 resource play for 3 points. So it's not actually particularly good, but it's fun to just get the 3rd bridge down. Upgrade digging? Upgrade digging might be more efficient, huh? Yeah. I take the priest. I have just enough stuff. I advance dig. Go full swarmlings. Engineers advancing digs. Look at that. What a world. All right, and then we get our sweet, sweet pass for like 18 points here. 8 points. plus 6. So plus 4, plus 6. Yeah, 18 points in the pass. We're at 141 already. And then 24 cult points puts us at a 165. Feels good. Just picture this Grey North town. Is it infected? This was a fast one, too. I'm almost certainly the slowest, I'm guessing. Anyhow, I'm really glad to have got this game in. I've been looking for a good chance to play Tall Engineers, and this one obviously just worked out very well. The Nomads have quite a good game here, though, 145, so I do win by 20, though. But Mermaids getting the ship tile apparently was fine. Darklings taking the ship tile likely would have given Darklings some better chances at competing here. I'm not sure, but Darklings sending their priest to Earth does look like a mistake. If they just dig, they would have a couple more points too. So, as usual, I think Darklings trying to fight cults is often just not the right way to go about things, but that's okay. All right. Nice little win. That feels good. All right. Looking at the post-game breakdown, yeah, I was the longest thinker by a decent bit, but overall, a pretty speedy game, which is nice. I got to use my power for coins, that early double dig, and a priest. This is not a lot of power actions for an engineer player, but I just didn't actually make that much power this game because I delayed my 2 temples, and I only had 2 temples on the board for round 2 and round 3, or like the income after those rounds, because then I went sanctuary. So, yeah. And I also converted just a bunch of power. Going up all the cults was actually probably where a lot of my power this game came from. Yeah, I got very little off leech, but got a lot off the cult treks, and then a little, a good amount off just pure income, so I have some power. I hit the rounds really well, better than anybody actually. But I mean, my whole game plan was kind of hit the rounds, right? I built a bunch of dwellings, and then I built both Stronghold and Sanctuary, and then I built a lot of trading posts. And so my favor tile points are really good here too. Like, this is just Water 1, Air 1, but it's a 7-point. It was a 7-point Air 1, so it's a 21-point Water 1. That's pretty sweet. Got on the bonus cards I wanted to. Mermaids hit the ship tile 3 times, so that's really all their game was. And as you can see, that's not a good enough of a game. I think Mermaids getting only 1 town on this map and not winning network. Again, I think that's where they really went wrong. I only spent 2 powers on Leech. Like, normally this would not be good for engineers, but this is just a really fun game plan. Only 18 points of bridges. Like I said, I never got the 3rd bridge down, but, again, who really cares? Like, I had a really good game, and I still built a stronghold in a stronghold round. I got to hit... that stronghold I built in the stronghold round, I hit it on the pass twice, and it produced me 18 points because of the bridges I built. There's nothing wrong with that. So, yeah, ultimately just a really fun game here. Yeah, I'm super glad to have got this one in. That was just a really fun one, and just like fun to play a different style. I think the early Dwelling Rush is super, like, synergistic with this strategy. And then, yeah, just going Temple for Water 1, Earth 2. I mean, I could have still had Earth 1, but I obviously don't want it. It was never part of the game plan. But, yeah, it's a pretty safe game plan to go for Water 1, Earth 2 in round 2. Nobody's going to stop that. And then, yeah, it was really pretty lucky that the timing worked out that I could get that early pass onto the stronghold tile in round 3, just pass quickly, get on the stronghold tile, have a really long round 4, leave it there for round 5, have a really quick round 5, pass back onto it early again. That way I was able to take coin actions, and I needed coin actions because I had the worker income. I didn't need spades, so my power needed to be for the coins because stronghold and sanctuary are fairly expensive for engineers still. They don't really get, they don't get coin discounts on those buildings, so that part is tough for them. And then paying for expensive trading posts just didn't matter much here either. So yeah, I don't know. I had such a fun time with this one. Really glad to make the tall engineer work. I will definitely have to point Chris Ho out to this VOD because I think this is what he's been looking for. So good times. If anybody has any questions or comments, drop them in the chat. But otherwise, I think I'm going to wrap up and head off real soon. So pretty quick stream today, but nothing wrong with that. There was no all-player commentary this weekend, which is unfortunate. But I'm trying to make those weekly in the future. But this one was a little tricky because I was doing Fire 2 Open stuff and the scheduling with some others that I reached out to wasn't good. And I probably wasn't scheduling far enough in advance. Good to see me getting some nice wins again. Yeah, I was on a rough streak, and then partly was playing a little sloppy, partly just not really getting good breaks or good luck. This was a game where I played reasonably well, and I was just getting the right breaks, right? The pastels, the timing, the thing I wanted to do worked out very well. There wasn't a lot of ways to disrupt me, but the pastels could have gone a lot worse, etc., etc. Like the fact that the cult towns were there so late, I think is actually quite a boon because I do think those towns were really advantageous to me too. So yeah, it was such a synergistic game that fell together, which haven't always been having recently. So yeah, I agree. It's been nice to have some games just go according to plan. But yeah, anyhow, future, we'll try to get all player commentaries weekly in the future. The Fire 2 Open broadcast was yesterday. If you haven't watched that, I would recommend it. It was a really fun game. Congrats on Astari for being our Fire 2 champion. Just some really interesting stuff in that one, too. And it was really fun to comment that one with NerdCube. And the commentary seemed fun too, so yeah, that was good. And then other stuff coming up. Tomorrow, I'm probably not streaming tomorrow, but the Manic Pineapple is streaming at, I don't know, something like 7 Eastern. I'm not totally sure. But yeah, I'll be on his channel. We're loosely playing a game, mostly kibitzing about just whatever. He's kind of doing this interview series where he kind of talks to top players, and it's really a cool idea. And so I'm glad that I get to be on his channel and talk to him about whatever, and learn, kind of help everybody start learning more about the people behind the Terra Mystica community or whatever. So that'll be good. You loved it. Really interesting game. Great casting by me and NerdCube. Yeah, the Fire 2 was really cool. And I do think that, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. NerdCube and I definitely talked a bit, and we talked a good amount with Bizzle on kind of what his vision is for some of the casting. And I think Chris has some really good insights into what makes for interesting casting. And I think NerdCube and I did some decent adaptation to some of those ideas and whatever. But yeah, well, anyhow, whatever. It was a good time. And as usual, I'm just blabbing on, and there's not much else happening. So thanks all for watching and following. Thanks for the subscriptions earlier on this stream from Relentless and Crix. Really appreciate that. That's really awesome. And yeah, I'll keep doing some games here and there, but I don't know. This week might be a little light because I'm not going to go tomorrow, or I'm not streaming tomorrow, and probably won't stream Tuesday either. But as usual, I don't really have a schedule yet, and I'll just stream here and there when I feel like it. So see you all around. Oh, hey, wait a sec. Darkling's here. Well, hey, thanks for dropping in. Yeah, you had a fun game. It was good. It was good to play you. You had a really rough start. Getting that little leech as Darklings early is unfortunate, and I was doing weird things, and Mermaids kind of chose interesting spots to upgrade and expand to as well. And yeah, you getting no leech and the pastiles not working out so that you couldn't make your sanctuary in round 2 was obviously a big bummer. But I think you did some nice adaptations, and you had a cool game by the end. I mean, I don't know. I don't have much other comments, but thanks for the game, and yeah, it was fun. And hopefully the VOD is interesting to you. I don't actually make that much comments about other players' games there. I'm largely the first half is largely me talking about a bunch of Agricola and other stuff and being a distraction, and then the second half is me just being kind of giddy about how my game plan was working out quite well, and I finally got to play a Tall Engineers and do some wacky stuff, and I was having a lot of fun with it. But yeah, hopefully it's good. But anyhow, I'm gonna head off. I will see you all maybe on the Manic Pineapple stream tomorrow. Otherwise, I'll stream again eventually within a few days, and it'll be fun. See you all around, and yeah, bye.